Changing minds one thought at a time.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Motivate Social, where we're bringing people who are changing the world via social media. I am Dr. Aikyna Finch, and I can't be here without my wonderful co-host, Vanessa Canteberry. How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I am fabulous. So today we're going to be talking about the beauty of the beast. So I'm going to definitely turn this over to my co-host so she can work this out and so we can get this conversation started. Vanessa, it's on you.
All right. Now, I know you was like, wait a minute, where we come up with this topic at? Well, this topic came about as we continue to be in a mode of beast mode, as you hear people say, I'm in beast mode. But there's so many people who want to be in beast mode, but then they don't want to battle and understand the beauty that comes behind the beast. Just think about it. We work, we already have our intentions in place. And what if it don't work out? And then you battling against the beast. But then what if you quit before you could be able to reach and connect with the beast to understand the beauty that comes along with it? See, we have to understand, if we are willing to be able to go the distance, we have to understand there's going to be some beasts that's going to try to stop us along our journey. There's going to be some disruption. That's the beast. It's like the beast will have to come in. It's just like the devil want to come in and kill, steal, and destroy. Well, we're talking about the beast. But see, I'm going to want to be able to be here to encourage you with this message, to let you know that if you are determined and have an unchanged mind, you will not have to worry about just settling with the beast. You understand you have an end goal. You're going to have to reach that goal. But before you get to the end goal, there's going to be some stumbling blocks along the way. And the stumbling blocks could be small, medium, and then sometimes large, and maybe an attempt to get to the extra large. But you have to understand, because you have an unchanged mind, that you are up against what? The beast, so you could be able to experience the beauty. Are you willing to go against the beast so you can appreciate the beauty? It's just like that diamond in the rough. It has to be shined up. It has to be polished. Sometimes it need to be sanded down a little bit. But then there's maybe a little dents in it, a little things that could probably like cut you a little bit because it's been bruised up a little. It probably dropped a little. But when you still hold it up, it still shines. It still shows the shape of a diamond. But again, are you willing to go against the beast so you could be able to what? Appreciate the beauty. So Dr. Finch, what do you think about this topic? Are you willing to go against the beast to appreciate the beauty?
I think I can. How about you?
Oh, I definitely can.
All right. I like the abstractness of the topic. I do. Because you usually don't really think about it that way. Mm-hmm. I like that. Now, how can we make this flow, right? Mm-hmm. How can we put this in perspective? How can we use this in normal everyday life? Mm-hmm. That is the question, right? So, a lot of times, we have comments in the chat. So wonderful. And that's a good question. I'm liking where this is going. So, how could we use this in normal everyday life? How could we use this in normal everyday life? Now, keep in mind that normal everyday life for me is business as well as personal. Mm-hmm. So, in business, I could use it as, my friend says, a mentoring moment. Mm-hmm. Teaching people how to see the beauty in things when the situation looks ugly. Seeing the positive, seeing the glass is half full instead of half empty. Seeing the taking in what's going on in the situation and then spitting out the bones. Meaning, take only what you need and discarding the rest. Mm-hmm. So, would those be examples of how I'm talking about? What you're talking about? Okay, very good. And then in personal life, you know, getting that rest, you
Yep.
know, in spite of what's going on, making sure you're taken care of. Self-care is very important. Also getting making sure you're doing all the things you need for yourself, meaning if you need to exercise. If you need to stop putting that sugar, if that sugar is killing you, putting it down.
Yeah.
You know, all of these kinds of things. If you know that you need to you know, just release stress, getting out of those stressful situations. Am I on the right track?
Oh, you are definitely on the right track.
Okay. So, with that being said, would you suggest maybe a plan, like a a calendar for these things, or you know, or just kind of like brainstorming, brain mapping? You know, will those help you get to where you're supposed to be, or is this just something that we just do innately?
It's both. It's both.
Okay, work it out.
Because if you think about it, when you have your what's on the calendar, when you already have those things in places locked in, then you turn around and you will go and follow your calendar. Now, if you have some disruption along the way, and you're going to have some disruption because you have a goal, right? You're going to get those calls that you shouldn't be on the phone talking to those individuals because you have a goal and that's not part of your goal right now. So what are you going to do? You're going to just keep answering the phone? Or are you going to keep just looking at the notifications to see how many notifications, how many likes that you have? Or are you going to stick to the plan at hand and go after what's on your schedule for the day and put those things to the back burner because they are not a part of the plan? So you have to have a made up mind understanding where you're going and what you're doing. Because if you don't, the beast will come in to disrupt it. So you know that you have 20 tasks on a plate, and you know that there's 24 hours in a day. Why are you spending half of your 24 hours in a day on things that's not putting any checks next to those checklists that's on your calendar for the day? And that's something that I'm just not saying to just individuals. I'm saying it's because I had to walk this to understand that, okay, Vanessa, your calendar is getting really crazy. But then you have clients that's coming into your inbox. They sending you all types of messages, and you have intentions on responding. But then that's later, you want to respond later. But then when you see it as a message because of who you are, and you just want to be able to have great customer service, be a servant leader, show up and all this other good stuff. But that wasn't in the plan for the day. That was planned for later on to check your messages, your DMs, your inboxes. So why are you checking it sooner than later? Because that time that you took away for dealing with that client for that whole hour for the day, you turned around and took away from that client, doing the work for that client, and to go and take it on a potential. When you have that on a schedule at later on, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, but you answer that at 12 o'clock. Why? Why did you do that? Why? So that means you got to remember, you can't allow things to come in to be able to disrupt what's on the calendar. You have to control yourself to just stay away from it. Yes, you have great intentions. However, they still be there. They'll be there a couple hours later. They will. Trust me, they will. Especially if they've been following you. Especially they see what you're doing. Especially when it was something that they know that you could be able to help. They'll be there. They will. So you have to make sure, don't allow anything, I don't care, family, friends, associate, potentials, to disrupt what's on that calendar for the day. You got to attack those things. It's just like you in a relationship and you have somebody who is single, but you in a serious, engaged, maybe even married relationship. Right? But you have somebody who is single, messy as heck, and you have them all in your business. But see, you want to be happy married. They don't want you to be married. They want you to live a single life. That's the battle of the beast. It's not just in business, it's just in life general. Those things are going to come into place, and you have to make an unapologetic decision on how you're going to handle the beast. Now, how people take it, that ain't got nothing to do with you. You have a schedule that you have to follow so you could be able to reach your goal. Period. How are you expected to be successful if you constantly keep allowing things to disrupt the schedule for the week? Make sense?
It makes sense. It makes sense. So then that goes along the lines to people pleasing.
Child, been there. Understanding.
Okay. All right. So
Yes,
you
Lord.
just said that they need to stay on their schedule,
Mm-hmm.
period. But let's say they have children, and children know nothing about a schedule.
Girl, tell me about
Or no, or they know their schedule, not yours.
it.
Their schedule, not yours.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got a significant other who knows their schedule and not yours as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a silent investor
Mm-hmm.
on top of that knows their schedule and not yours.
Mm-hmm.
You got all these things pulling on you. How do you make this work? Period.
If you putting your clients on the calendar, you need to tell them to get on the calendar. Not trying to be funny, but you have to stay on task at hand. Just think about it. If there is a house being built, they have a timeline that they know that house needs to be built because now somebody done put their deposit down because they done purchased that land and that house, and they know that this house will be done in 6 months. But you over here lollygagging, next it done turns to a year. You think that client's still gonna be there? They're gonna want their deposit back. Because on the calendar, it states this house is going to be done in 6 months. So they know in 6 months, if they have followed and did everything they supposed to do, any paperwork that they had to submit, any doing walkthroughs, any inspection, whatever the case may be, if they have done their part, why are you not doing yours? Okay? You have to remember that there's a thing called communication. The contractors, they build in a foundation. They communicating with you when the cement is going to be poured. They letting you know that when the walls are going to go up. They letting you know when they are starting to do the layout plan, where the kitchen going to be, where the bathroom going to be, where the living room, dining room will be. Oh, is this too small? Is this too big? They communicate all this with you, but you're not answering the phone, but you want them to still go ahead with the plans. But it's a two-way street. If you communicate with them, they will definitely communicate with you. So both parties are on the same page. Get on my calendar. Not trying to be funny, but can you call your doctor anytime? I'm just saying, can you call your doctor at any time and expect your doctor going to answer the phone? No, you got to go through a whole process to be able to get to your doctor, because your doctor have patients that already was on her calendar. She already knew that what paperwork that she had to do throughout the day so she could be able to get out of it on time. She wants to go home to her family as well. So she just can't take a call from you because you a good friend. She known you for a long time. She know the history and everything else. No, get on her calendar. And then when she have that time blocked out so she can make her callbacks to her patients, because at the end of the day, you are her patient, she will call you back. So you have to be real cautious as to when you send these goals out for yourself. Are you being realistic with it? Do you need to make adjustments with it? Do you need to communicate with those people that love to call you just to be calling you because they don't have nothing to do and you got something to do, but you turned around and didn't tell them that what you're working on and that I will have to call you after hours when I'm done with my work hours. And sometimes it may take a little bit longer, but I will get back with you at my earliest convenience. Not trying to be funny. If you are working on building a brand, a business, a lifestyle, then sometimes you're going to have to make these uncomfortable conversations that you're not used to having. It's not saying that you are better than somebody else. It's saying that you don't want to keep being insane, keep doing the same thing that wasn't getting you anywhere because you was doing things that was, I'm just going to answer the call. Oh, I'm just going to answer that email. Oh, just because it ring, that don't mean you have to answer. There's a thing called voicemail. Mm-hmm.
All right,
Allow it to go to voicemail. Right? We got to be real clear on where we're going with our life decisions. We really, really do. And if we don't, is we staying where? In that W-2 mindset. One way in and one way out. If you do not want to have that one way thinking, then you need to go ahead and make the switch to the 1099 mindset, so you could be open. You could be able to do things that you never thought you could be able to do. You'll be able to challenge yourself, be willing to be stretched. You'll be able to have a whole lot of accomplishments because somebody can relate to where you're going. But again, you have to make a decision on where you're going with yourself and your goals and your dreams and aspirations. Because that beast is real. I had a beast moment. They try to come in and disrupt so much stuff. They thought they had the KO, the TKO on top of that. And it was close. I'm not gonna lie, it was really close. But I had to remind myself, you did not work this hard to sit back and allow the beast to disrupt what you have coming.
Oh, come on now.
Okay? Because the beast will come in. They don't see it for themselves. They already know what you have because they see it. Will they tell you? Absolutely not. But see, there's a thing when you have this assignment that you're on, the agreement that we talked about that you made with God. Yeah. He wants to see that thing through. And so he knows the outcome, but you have to trust the outcome and keep and stick with the plan so you can be able to reach your goal. Period.
Uh-oh. I love that. I love that. So basically what you're saying is that we need to get in touch with our why.
And don't forget your why. You can't forget your why.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? When you think about why you started, right? It may switch up. Mine did. Mine switched up the more that I've grown, but it still stayed to the basics of the foundation. What's that foundation? So you can make sure that why is solid. Okay. You know what I mean? Your why will never be solid if your foundation is constantly being on got cracks in it. It's shaky. You haven't maintained it. The weeds are all through, and you don't know which one is grass or weeds. You know what I mean? Things are seeking through the cracks. Things are overflowing. Now it are mixed up in some mud. You don't know if that's cement or mud. You got a whole lot of things in this foundation because you just overlooked your why because you was too busy trying to get to the end goal and not learning along the ways to get to that goal.
Okay, so let's roll with this, shall we?
Shall we?
So you saying know your why, and yes, it will evolve. But you said you can't forget your why, but you can forget your why. I've seen many people do this. They tend to throw that spaghetti up against the wall, and when it doesn't stick, they're ready to flip their whole business all the way around. And what about the point of perseverance? Okay, let's talk about that. What about the point of perseverance? If you can't show your clients that you're going to be consistent on that thing, then they have no reason nor owe you any reason to stay. Okay, that piece. Because if you won't put enough time into making sure that you know what they want, because they are the client, they are the ones receiving the information, not what you want to tell them. That's a whole nother conversation with it itself that we're not going to do today. Okay, we're not going to do today. But what should happen is that after you done figured out what they want and how to give it to them, that is where, as y'all know my statement, I help people create a demand for their supply. That's that point where that demand and that supply do this.
Yes.
Right now, y'all demand and supply is doing this and this and this and this, and they never touch it. The goal in business is to get the supply and demand to do this.
Yep.
And if your stuff is not popping, that means that your demand and your supply are not doing this. Either you have too much demand and no supply, you have too much supply and no demand. Okay? You need to figure out which one it is and bring the levels together. So they do this. This. Now, when you were talking about the why did that spark up all of this for the why? I'm gonna bring it back to the camp. Because if your why was never to do this, then your business will never do this.
Say that.
Okay. So the point of having a business is for you to supply somebody with a product or service that they need to address a pain point that they have. That's the point. But if your business was built so that I can get seen, so that I can get heard, so that I can make money, so that I can be rich, so that you have left the customer out, and therefore you will never have this. And if you do have this, it'll be for a short moment until they realize what time it is, and then they'll go and find somebody who actually cares about it. So you can ride the train as long as you want to on that point, and then wonder, because I remember when Periscope came out and all these people are making money like hand over fist, and then I don't even know where half of them are today. Meerkat, Blab, all the things. And now we're here. But guess what? I'm still here. I'm still standing. Because I want to do things to the power of thee, not for the power of me. I don't actually toot my horn very well, to be totally honest. And there lies the problem as well on my front. But it's got to be a mix.
Yeah.
So let's talk about supply. You need to have some. First off,
get some, borrow, take some.
You can't just sit up there and do all this talking about all these stuff you could do and then don't show up, don't have nothing. It can't be I shoulda, coulda, woulda. It's coming out next week. It's coming out next month. Coming out next year. All things. Okay. So get some supply, because there's got to be something for somebody to get.
Yeah.
All right. There's got to be also something for there to be a demand for. All right. Let's talk about the demand side. Demand. You have to find people who need your stuff. Because guess what? You're not paying for your stuff. That's where surplus comes from. You have people who have a whole lot of supply. They make supply and they sleep. They wake up, say supply. They go to sleep, they supply. They walk down the street, they supply. But there is no demand. Whereas we have people who have a great topic and they have, but they have no supply. They giving great content. They want them to work with them. They have no booking calendar. They have no website. They have no mailing list. They have no. Therefore, even if they have demand, there's no way for them to get the supply. Okay? So, we have both ends of the spectrum. But what we need is you have the demand. People are excited about it. You are talking. People are excited about it. So then they go over to your website or their landing page so they can put their name in the email list and get your opt-in, that little free thing that gets them excited. Then they sit up there, they deal with the little free thing. And then from the free thing, then they're excited about that. And then they want to keep watching more videos of you, keep sharing more things of you, and then eventually get on your calendar and the things, and then work with you. Okay, all these things. Now, but if your why wasn't where it was supposed to be, that might be where these things are lacking. Yes, I just gave you a whole synopsis to come back to here because I need you to understand that if the foundation was missing space, you got to feel the foundation first before you can get the growth.
Yes.
Sometimes you got to go back to that why and find out where the holes were so that you can fill them up so that you can make a solid foundation. There's nothing wrong with repairing the house.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? Sometimes you've been doing the thing so long, you get stagnated. You think the bomb.com and all these things. You don't want to learn nothing. You don't want to do nothing. You don't want to be nothing new. Da, 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 da. Sometimes, but guess what? The termites done got into the house. The ants done got into the house. All that working on that foundation. Sometimes you got to go back to the foundation, even 10 years into the game, and refresh the foundation. Put another coat of paint on that thing. Doesn't mean that the why has changed. It might just need to be dusted off. Once again, more holes in the foundation because guess what? Times have changed, motives have changed, people have changed, situations have changed. COVID, prime example, y'all may have been building off of that brick and mortar, but you had to take that same business model and turn it into an online opportunity.
Yes.
And a lot of times, a whole bunch of folks were shellacking that paint on that why this last year. Okay, y'all bringing it back, but like I said, the point is, and I know y'all like, is this woman really this blunt? Why, yes, I am. This is the regular. This is the norm. I'm okay with my why. Okay, so with that being said, if I'm getting, am I riding the right train, Vanessa? Just make
you
sure.
Are. Okay, all right. You're definitely right.
All right. So, as I bring this train back to the track and give it back to you, the point is that we need to respect our why enough to let it evolve, but keep its integrity. Because many of us are chasing the dream and forget the why, and then wake up one morning and saying, how did I get here?
Yeah.
It's okay for your dream to evolve. It's okay for your why to evolve. It's okay for it to do some twists and turns, but it needs to keep its integrity. And I'm going to let Vanessa close this thing down the way she know how to do it. So go ahead, sister.
While your business on point, make sure you get your life together too. Because your business will never grow. It's going to be stagnant because you have not dealt with those things that left you stuck in your life. People like to jump ship a lot. They like the microwavable success. They like the microwavable life. They like the life that social media is portraying, but it's not reality. In your reality, make sure that your life is together. It never will be perfect, just like your business will never be perfect. There's always adjustments along the way, but are you willing to adjust? That's the thing. Are you willing to adjust? Because if you're not willing to adjust, you want to be stuck in your ways. You got a made up mind about your life. Oh, I already got it together. I know, but behind closed doors, we already know. You have some issues that have residue on it, and you don't want to face that residue. But that residue that you holding on to is holding you back from coming your best self. So in order for you to elevate, you have to accept the reality that residue is leaving stains wherever you go. It's like you instead of putting gloves on and you was using some ink. And with that carbon ink, it done left some stains. So everything you touch has a residue on it. You touch your clothes, you left a mark. You touch your desk with the paper, important paper, you left a mark. You touch somebody else, you left a mark. You just keep touching stuff with these residue hands. And you wonder why you keep getting this residue of people that's surrounding you.
Not the residue of people now.
The residue of people that's surrounding you, because you attract who you are. You can portray all you want. You attract who you are. So clean up the residue, address the residue, face the residue, however it is or what you need to do. I'd rather for you to address it and then cover it up with Band-Aids, because you still bleeding out, baby. Them stitches, it ain't holding it together no more. It's still an open wound that you have to address so you can be able to appreciate all the overflowing that you will receive. Because that right there, that hard task, that's the battle of the beast too. It happens in your life. I'm letting you know, I'm speaking from experience. It happens in your life. But baby, when the moment that you decide to face that thing head on,
Mm-hmm.
you will realize how strong you really are. Because that deep wound, now it can heal properly and you can move on.
Yeah, that was a great conversation there, Vanessa. And I think that was a great place for us to wrap this up for tonight. Please, please, please find us on all social media handles. Change Your Minds Online. We're Change Mind Online on Twitter. We're on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, all the things. And then YouTube, of course. We're all things. And then, of course, we are on all of the platforms that a podcast could be on. Change Your Minds Online. And then if you go to our Apple store and things like that, and it'll be the Motivate Social Podcast. But we are super excited to bring you great content every week. And sometimes we have guests, sometimes it's just the two of us. But regardless, we are bringing you good, solid, foundational things that's going to help you with your business and your life flow, because we are motivational, we're entrepreneurial, we're all of the things, and we're real. That's the most important thing. We are real. So definitely check us out at changeyourmindsonline.com. Find us everywhere, and every month, third Monday of the month, you will find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And then we added, of course, Instagram today. So we're getting ready to see how we like that.
Yes.
So we will see. But until next time.
Yes, next time. This has been absolutely amazing. We will see you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.